What's up YouTube? Tiffy Stacy here, and I'm back with another video. Now this video is going to be about my experience at the Warrior Dash. As some of you know, I participated in the Warrior Dash just this past weekend, and I had a freaking awesome time, y'all. I recommend this race to anybody who wants to do something different. As some of you know, I've been running a couple 5Ks the last couple of months, and this was something totally different that I really want to do. I've always loved doing obstacle course type races ever since I was a little kid. I always look forward to doing that type of stuff at the end of the school year, so this was totally up my alley. I will say that it started at 11, and after it started, for the first mile and a half, you know, I ran, and it was a lot of hills. And I mean, it was hills, like not just little teeny tiny hills, like steep hills. Like if you don't walk a certain kind of way, you could freaking injure yourself badly. So it was like that for the first half mile, and at one point I actually fell, and a nice young girl had caught my arm before as I was falling. But the first obstacle was jumping over barricades, and it was crawling on the barbed wire. So it was jump over barricade, crawl on the barbed wire, jump over, and it kept doing that for a couple of times, and then that was that. And then after that, it kind of gets a little hazy. I'm not sure if we did this second, but I don't know, I'm just gonna say it came out somewhere early on in the course, but it's where we walked across a plank. You know, you walk across, you try to balance yourself, and you know, I did that pretty good. I tried to, you know, speed it up, you know, trying to go kind of fast, and I was cool with that. And then the third obstacle course. Now in between these obstacle courses, we were running, and we were going uphill and stuff, so you know, that was kind of tiring me out. And honestly, for the first half mile, right before that first obstacle, I was pretty tired, you know, and I hadn't eaten anything, so I was a little fatigued, but I was like, you know, I need to keep going. This is, you know, and it wasn't too hot, which was good. But anyway, the third obstacle course was where we had to crawl through the trenches underneath barbed wire, and at that point I was like, I don't want to get dirty, but I figured I need to just kind of start getting dirty anyway, because I know eventually I'm going to be super dirty at the end of the race. There was actually this black guy that was behind me, and we kept crossing each other's paths as we were throughout the race and stuff. He was with a group of people, but I could hear him say like, "Oh my gosh, I hear water," and I'm like, I can hear it too. So I'm like, oh Lord, what are we gonna be doing? So when we got to the point where all the water was, it was like this like river, but I don't think it was a river. It was like, it looked like more like a hole with water put in it. And you know, we had to crawl through that and get to this flotation device, which was in the center. And now I think back, I don't even know why I was trying to swim all the way to that flotation device. I should have just went around and just swam all the way over to the edge, but I was trying to be athletic and, you know, do my thing. So, but this flotation device was plastic, so of course if it's plastic, then you're gonna slip on trying to get yourself out of the water, and that's what a lot of people were doing. There was actually an older woman that was in front of me. She was trying to get on, and there was a white guy that had gotten on before her, and he grabbed her and pulled her out. She was able to get on the little flotation device, and so I was like, I'm gonna take full advantage of this. This guy is helping people, and so he grabbed my hand and he tried to pull me, and I was kind of struggling, but I finally got on it. And then you jump over and jump back in the water and then swim over to the edge. So but you know what, I've had swimming lessons since I was a little kid, so I know how to swim, but that was a little different because that water was gray and I just didn't want it in my mouth or anything. So but anyway, but I didn't get any diseases, luckily, so I'm here to talk about that today. So then when I got to the end of the little river thing, there was like a little like thing you had to climb up. I can't remember if it was like wood that you had to climb up or if it was like a rope ladder, but I had to climb up that, and it was like spraying down water, so my hair got a little wet. I mean, I was already wet, so it wasn't that big of a deal. So But I had to be careful because I was afraid I might slip and, you know, fall as I was trying to climb up. But it was cool. I made it to the other side, and then I ran a little bit more, and then I got to this rope bridge. And you know, the rope bridge, what you had to do, you had to you know, you had to wait until this person got to the halfway point, and then you would cross, and then it just continued with each person like that. And so I was walking, and at this point you could feel like the weight kind of shift as each person had gotten on. I think there was like 2 people behind me that were on the actual rope, because I was pretty much at the end at this point. So it kind of threw off my balance, and I ended up falling into the, like, I fell kind of a little bit through the rope. And it was the same black guy that I talked about earlier. He was beside me trying to cross too, and I like cursed really loud. And he said to me, he goes, "You look pretty unsure about that." I'm like, "I am." And then I got to this rope wall where it's like, you know, where you have to climb up the rope, and then, you know, there's a wall and you gotta, you know, pull yourself up. So I had to really use my upper body strength. And right before I actually did that, I kind of heard my mom's voice talking about, if you see that you're in a dangerous situation, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do the obstacle course. But I'm like, you know what, shoot, I paid $60. I'm gonna do the obstacle course. I climbed up the rope wall, and then when I got to the top, everything always seems not as high from the ground, but when you actually get up there, it's higher than you thought. So all I was thinking when I got up to the top, I kind of looked down. I'm like, oh Lord, like, how am I gonna get down? Because like they were like, the way the wall was, it was like they were like planks. So you had to kind of like step on the planks as you try to go down. I don't know if that makes any sense. I don't know how else to better describe it. So if you didn't watch out, you could fall through the planks and freaking hurt yourself really bad because it was so high up. Then the next obstacle course was actually like this river. I think it was just another like hole in the ground with some water in it. But I fell getting into it, so that was a problem. And the thing is, the floor of the little river thing was not leveled, so every time you tried to walk through it, your foot got stuck in whatever it was. I think it was rocks or something. A third to last obstacle was climbing up this rope ladder, and that was easy compared to the 2 rope walls I had climbed up. So I climbed up that, crossed over, and as I was crossing over, there was actually a white guy that I had seen early on in the race. He had stopped way behind and stuff, and so as I was crossing over, he goes, "Are you having fun yet?" And I'm like, "I just want to get this over with." And I go, "Well, what about you?" And he's like, "I'm having a blast." I'm like, okay. So I ran a few feet, and then I get to the second to last obstacle, and it's 2 rows of fire that you have to jump over, and I jumped over them. Then the last obstacle was crawling through mud, and yeah, I have pictures for that too. So I'm crawling through it, and I'm getting all dirty. And I was kind of laughing and stuff about it. I'm like, I can't believe this. I can't believe I'm doing this. But it was fun. And then as I was trying to get out, there was a guy that was in front of me, and he kept sliding. He was trying to get out, and he kept sliding. And so I tried to get out, and I was sliding. And then like the guy that was actually the host, he was like saying, he goes, "This is my favorite part, when people can't get out and all this stuff." And so yeah, it was kind of hard to get out. It took me like 3 tries to get out, but I finally got out, and I was covered in mud, as you can see in the picture, covered in it. But it was freaking awesome. Actually, I thought that they were gonna have showers for you after you finish. No, they sure did not. They had like this little like pond thing where everybody could go and stand and, you know, get soaking wet and like just get off all the mud and stuff. Well, I felt getting into it, and yeah, so that wasn't my day. But I was able to kind of get a little bit of the mud off, and then I actually ended up seeing an old college dorm floor mate while I was there, which you can see in the pictures. I was talking to him, and yeah, so that was kind of cool too. So, but anyway, had a good time. That was that. So, as I said, I totally recommend this. Wherever you at, go to the Warrior Dash website, check it out, see if it comes to your town. If not, check it out next year. But hit me up on Twitter at Tiffy Stacy. Hit me up on tiffystacy.com. I'm probably going to be participating in a lot more races as the years go by. So definitely stay tuned for the next few races I'm going to probably be in. I don't have anything scheduled for now, but check that out. Alright, see you guys later.